Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Macomb High School's Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling brings you Macomb Bombers Volleyball. The TSSR Game Time live presented by MDH. I'm Dwayne Hulett. The big one, the fat one, and the skinny one beside me is John Burton. You can't see that, but believe me, it's true. We are a little late, and that just kind of goes, John, the way the first game we try to do every year and sometimes all year long seems to go, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, like you said, it's the first game that we've been able to broadcast here this year on TSSR Game Time Live, and it really just wouldn't be a TSSR Game Time Live start of the season if we weren't a little bit late on the first one.
Yeah, just we started it and it wouldn't go. Don't know why, really. Just rebooted everything, restarted the computer, and it worked fine. So we're here, and the Bombers and Jacksonville, the Crimsons, tied at 5 now in game number 1 of the Fresh Soft contest. We've gotten away, and they really are putting points on the board. We're 5-5 here. We came on at 5-3, John, but we were only literally like 2 minutes late to get started.
Yeah, they've been putting up points here in a hurry. A couple hitting errors on the Jacksonville side. Same thing on the Bomber side. So we can get some of those cleaned up here, just some of the parts that we missed. A nice tip there at the net. Bombers able to dig that one up and send it back across.
Yeah, you know, and you're going to have that early in the year, right? You're going to have more hitting errors. There's a nice attack on the far side by Macy Moore, I do believe, a freshman. Yeah, they've got her listed as a defensive specialist. She does not look like a defensive specialist, but she is wearing number 1. She hit like a right side hitter would hit, didn't she?
Yeah, it was a nice swing there on the outside. Puts Jacksonville in front.
For the Bombers, the libero is Taylor Baldy. It's 7-5, Crimson. Want to welcome everybody to our first broadcast of the year. Thank you for joining us. We hope that you enjoy it. It'll be the first of many as we talk tonight. John, we'll talk about some differences as a passing error sends the ball into the net, makes it 8-5 Crimson. Little different attack for TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH this year. We'll talk about that as the night goes along, but you will see the home games for the Bombers per usual, but we are changing things up, adding a few more schools. There's a nice block at the net by the Crimsons. That is, again, number 1, Macy Moore on the block, and the Crimsons force the Bombers into a timeout. And, John, it's kind of your early season stuff. You don't know what's going to go on. The C game, the freshman game, whatever you want to call it, some smaller schools tend to call it C game, right? But bigger schools call it a freshman game because it truly is that, a freshman game. But at any rate, the Bombers won that in 2. So, the Bombers have had success. You would expect them to parlay that into the Fresh Soft contest or the sophomore game. Have not had so much luck thus far, though they were up 5-3 at one point.
No, not at this moment. But I will say that freshman game, that C game, as you mentioned, both sets were extremely close. I was in here watching the first set, and the second set was going on whilst we were setting up. I believe both of those sets were decided within 2 to 3 points. So really, you talk about those freshmen kind of bringing it up here into the Fresh Soft game from just that freshman game. And, with the set as close as it is, it's kind of hard to tell which way things might go here.
Nice serve results in an ace for the Crimson. That's number 29, who I don't even have on my roster. Well, I was looking at the top. Number 1 is Macy Moore. She's a defensive specialist on the varsity team as a freshman. She is a setter and right side hitter, or opposite, for them in JV, and another passing error and a little bit of communication problems now coming for the Bombers. I'm going to have to remember the scoreboard. That's going to be I've been doing what little videoing I've been doing is harness racing, and there's a nice tip by the Bombers, number 32. That's Megan Redding. The sophomore gets the tip and the side out, stops the bleeding for the Bombers. That was a 8-0 run by the Crimson off the serve of number 29, Claire Darr. Near side tip is a mishit, a hitting error, and another point for the Bombers. Back serving for the Bombers going to be number 22. That's Kendall Field. The sophomore wears number 22, as I said, for Macomb. And a service error sends the ball back to Jacksonville. Live chat's open. Hop in there. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. We do love to see the live chat be active. That goes for any folks from Jacksonville that might be watching as well. There's a set, left side, bump over by the Bombers. Another right side attack. The Crimson, John, hit from the right a lot.
Yeah, they've been really setting up that right side. We've seen more over there. She's been able to put a couple down, as well as a few blocks. It looks like they were trying to go back to it there, but still a passing error.
Josie Elby, the freshman, gets the tip over and then a net violation under the net on the Crimson. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good. But yeah,
12-8 the score.
Like I said, the Crimson definitely setting it up more towards the right side. We'll see if the Bombers start to load up the block over there.
As we said, share the link. Let folks know where you're watching from. Hop into live chat. Talk to us. There's a near side attack on the left. Another block by the Bombers. That time it was Claire Thompson on the block. To the net and into the net. You got to give Brooklyn Lyles, who was trying to set that for the Bombers, a good effort just to try to even get their hands on that ball. Couldn't stay out of the net, though.
Yeah, that's a tough one to get to. You're kind of backpedaling. You're not quite sure where the net's located at. She was, again, at least able to get hands on that one, just couldn't keep it in bounds and eventually ran it into the net.
Sophomore Maggie Gerard just serves up a point for the Crimson. 14-8 is the score. Another serve. And an ace, that time off the hands or arms of Reagan Knowles, the sophomore. And another point for Jacksonville. Communication looks like the biggest obstacle facing the Bombers right now. Wouldn't you agree or no?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. You see a lot of people kind of circling around the ball while it's in the air. And again, being that this is one of the first games of the season for them, that's something that can definitely get kind of weeded out as you move along through the season. But here in the first game, definitely got to find a way to fix that. We see an attack there go out of bounds.
Josie Elby again from the left side. Hits that one just about 6 inches long. And another point.
It's a nice looking attack there on the left side. Just couldn't keep it in bounds.
Tipped across by Lyles. There's the libero coming up. And another kill from the right side. That time for Jacksonville, number 25. Maybe Chloe Kuhn. They don't have 25 on their JV roster. Chloe Kuhn is a junior. Setter and defensive specialist on the varsity squad. We'll take a quick break during the timeout, and we'll be right back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
After my appointment that day, I just made up my mind that I'm going to have my baby here in Macomb and this hospital, because irrespective of where you're from, who you are, it's just their line of duty to make sure they give care, make you comfortable.
I thought about the staff of MDH. You know, they're all good. And you will get all the support you need. This is just the best place for you and your family.
Welcome back to Macomb High School and Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling coverage of Macomb High Sports. Bombers trailing in set one of the JV contest, 17-8. They led 5-3, and it's been all Jacksonville since then. An 8-0 run kind of catapulted them forward. Has a set middle attack. Somebody was in the net, and it's going to be the Bombers. Looks like number 11, Reva Copen, the freshman, in the net for the Bombers. There's a nice hard serve and an ace for Jacksonville. Back dominating from the service line right now, John. The Bombers have not got a single good pass off the serve of Maggie Gerard.
Yeah, I was going to say the Bombers are definitely struggling with the service receive. That was another, would have been a nice serve if it got over, just clipped the net there. But yeah, Bombers definitely struggling on the serve receive portion. Again, we've seen a lot of missed pass and a lot of aces on the Jacksonville side.
And to serve for the Bombers, Emory Seward, sophomore. 19-9. The Bombers are going to need a big-time comeback to get back into this one. And the attack off the arms of the libero, Taylor Baldy, and out of bounds. A kill and a side out for the Crimson. 20-9 is the score. I believe that on the kill for the Crimson there was number 26, I believe, wasn't it? Maddie Evans. They got her listed as a middle hitter, so it was number 11, Jera Wardell. And into the net. And back to serve again is going to be the libero for the Crimson, number 24, Olivia Woods, sophomore. 21-9. At some point, John, you kind of just say, well, we're going to chalk this one up to some communications issues. We'll save our energy maybe and come back in the second one, but hold your horses a little bit right there on the attack, and a big-time kill for Claire Thompson, the freshman for the Bombers, and a side out.
Yeah, Thompson definitely not ready to give up on this set quite yet. That was a nice attack, probably the best attack by the Bombers all night. So we'll see if maybe they can build some momentum off of that, and just as you say that, serve sale will be side out back to Jacksonville.
Yeah, when you're down points, when serve receive or service errors are bad at any point, but when you're down points, trying to get back in the game, service errors are big time. But anything you can do, I can do better. You hit it long, I'll hit it short. I guess that means that the next server coming in, Abby Qualcala, is sophomore, is bound to hit this one in bounds, right? Look at that.
Absolutely.
Never a doubt. Never a doubt. And there's the set and the attack. Be out of system, so they're going to send a free ball across. There's a low set. Good job just to get to it by Field. There's an attack from the middle. Nice dig. And it's going to be bumped across. A good dig over there by Reagan Knowles. There's a big-time attack off the arm again of number 11. That's Jera Wardell, the outside hitter. She's a sophomore, and she's had a couple big kills, John.
Yeah, and we talked earlier on in this set about how Jacksonville was going more towards that right side. Huge kill on the left attacking side there. Able to score some points for Jacksonville.
Attempted a tip by Wakala. Didn't work, but the Bombers are going to end up with the side out nonetheless after a bit of a rally, 23-12. Checking back into the game for the Bombers is going to be number 13, Josie Elby, and taking a seat, number 8, Emery Seward. Back to serve is number 21, Reagan Knowles. Ace for the Bombers and Reagan Knowles. And that's one of those deals where Jacksonville, it's a little too high, I want to let it go. It's a little too short, she's going to get it. Nora Mackey let it go. And the libero, number 24, Olivia Wood, said, oh, she's going to get it, and it fell right in between them. There's a nice pass off a tough serve. Be set up far side. Elby on the miss hit, hitting air side out. Set point for Jacksonville, up 24-13. And a service error again. Back-to-back service errors coming out of the game for the Crimson. Number 29, that was Claire Darr. Bombers need 10 straight just to tie it up and send it to extras here. And, oh, a nice dig, and it's not going to happen. At the net for the overpass and the kill. Number 26, that's Maddie Evans, the middle hitter, a freshman, and that's how set number 1 comes to an end. 25-14. Jacksonville wins set 1. We'll take a break, and we'll be back on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, right after this.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
I went through MDH when we were trying to get pregnant. We were struggling the first year, and then when we got pregnant, I stayed at MDH and through labor and now for pediatrics. My experience was nothing short of phenomenal. I was met with amazing staff members who helped me through concerns that I had when she was first born, helping me learn how to be a new mom. It was really reassuring and comforting knowing that I had so much support and kindness around me. My entire pregnancy at MDH was amazing.
MTC Communications is building a high-speed fiber network in our community, and we're putting priority on the areas with the greatest interest. That means we need your input to let us know you want us to build fiber in your area first. Experience the speed and convenience of fiber internet by visiting our special website and registering. Let us know you want fiber internet today and make your voice heard.
Welcome back to Macomb High School's Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling brings Bombers Sports to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. I'm Dwayne Hulett. John Burton alongside. Game being brought to you, as we said, in part by Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling. Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling since 1960. Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling has provided the greater Macomb area with expert sales, service, and installation of quality home comfort systems. Call your local Carrier dealer today at 309-833-2852 and find out how Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling delivers 365 days of indoor comfort. Well, John, Bombers need to right the ship a little bit here from the JV level anyway. In game number 2, they'll do it from the service line to start things off. And it'll be, I believe that's back there, it's number 10, the setter, Abby Quacala. And they're going to check rotation here for the Crimson before they ever start. Looks like the coach says, oh, no, that's not right. And they went over to the score sheet, and the referee or umpire official did have it written down wrong. So he erased a number and corrected it. Away we get ready to go here. An 11-point loss in set number 1, 25-14 for the Bombers, but starts with a service error. Second service error in a row for Quacala. But I was going to say they did play better down the stretch there.
Yeah, they opened up that first set really strong. They were able to take that 5-3 lead that we talked about, and then it was kind of that 9-point run by the Crimson towards the middle of the set that let them really take over. But as you mentioned, the Bombers did definitely start to play well towards the end of that first set. We can see if that's going to carry over here into set number 2, but so far it's been all Crimson. They're up 2-0.
Yeah, Jira Wardle with an overpass kill. She was at the net, dropped it down for her first kill of the second. And there's a big hit for the Bombers and a kill for number 22, Kendall Field. And the Bombers get their first side out and first point of game number 2. Once again, live chat's open. Hop in there. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. Either side, we'd love to have you in the live chat. They'll be able to see this if the kids go back and watch it. So if you put your live chat in there, they'll be able to go back and watch. There's an overpass. And Field is going to return the favor. A kill. As they fed the bear, and the bear was hungry. 2-2 the score here in set number 2. It's 2s all the way around here in set 2. Outside of that big 1-0 on the other side of the scoreboard. And there's a hitting error. That time hitting from the right side was Wardle, and she hits that one in the net, and the Bombers have the lead 3-2. So after a couple of errors, John, to start this set, the Bombers have kind of come back to life and settled back down a little bit.
Yeah, a couple kills and then a hitting error on the Jacksonville side. The Bombers are able to take a lead, and this is kind of how that set number 1 started off. We'll see if the Bombers can continue the run that they're on right now and maybe build up that lead a little larger than it was.
Oh, nice placement there. I believe that was Macy Moore on the kill and a side out as she hit it to the deep right corner, and there was just nothing the Bomber defense could do.
Yeah, deep right corner coming off the left side. That's a hard ball to hit out there, but she put it in the perfect spot. There was no chance of getting to that one on the Macomb side.
Jira Wardle going back to serve now for Jacksonville. That was Reagan Knowles that had served for the Bombers last time around. Here comes Elby with the little tip attack. It's going to be a free ball across. Right, nope, didn't get across the net. It's going to be A passing error and a point to the Bombers. 4-3 the score on the side out. Back to serve for the Bombers, going to be number 22. That's Kendall Field, the sophomore for MHS. And just long. That ball never got very high. It just didn't have any drop on it. 4-4 is the score. And to serve for the Crimson, number 29, that's Claire Darr. She's a middle hitter sophomore. Dropped that one in. Nice serve, but it's tipped across by Qualaka, excuse me. That was a nice attack, and then a passing error and a little miscommunication. The setter couldn't get to it, and on the near side for the Bombers, playing right was Natasha Lynn, and she could not pick it up. So it'll be a lead for the Crimson, and again, a passing error and an ace. Back serving still is Darr, and she's served 2 straight now, and that last one was an ace. Really, the one before that was an ace, even though it probably should not have been.
And I believe Darr is the one that served the 9 points in a row during that first set. She hits that one into the net. That's good signs for the Bombers. It was quickly kind of shaping up there. You kind of got that feeling like the first set, Darr's about to go on a run. Luckily, the Bombers get a service error there and able to get the side out back.
Jacksonville leads 6-5. Going back to serve for the Bombers. Going to be number 5, Brooklyn Lyles. Freshman for the Bombers. I think she'll come up to set as well as the Bombers play a 6-2 offense. Hit across deep right corner, and that time it's a little too far right. A hitting error and a side out. We're tied at 6. Lyles going back to serve again. Coach Steve Horrell down there handing out little packets to some of the kids. I'm not sure what he's giving away. Kids are excited to get anything free. I think most adults are excited to get most anything free, aren't they?
I was going to say, I'm excited every time I get something free, for sure, no matter what it is.
They're going to call a block. Man, there's a whole lot of net vibration going on there. I don't know if anybody was actually in the net, if the ball really moved the net that much, but it was a ton of net. And Lyles going back to serve with her team up now 7-6. That just barely cleared the net, and that's going to be a hitting error out deep off the hands of number 26, Maddie Evans. And Lyles has served 3 straight for the Bombers.
Yeah, Lyles doing a nice job here on the service line. Being able to score 3 straight points for the Bombers. We'll see if she can continue to do so.
That's deep and out. Man, I'm going to stop talking about the servers. You notice that? I've jinxed them every time.
Every single time.
I'm sorry, ladies. I apologize. I'll try to stop. Both sides. I mean, it doesn't even matter what side we're talking about. We're jinxing them. More passing problems to the net, and it's going to fall. And it's 8-8 now as a service point for number 1, Macy Moore, a right side hitter, a freshman. Also a setter. Oh, an ace. What a serve as it falls in front of Elby. And they're going to change serve. They're going to rotate serve receive now. The setter, Lyles and Elby go to the net. They rotate serve receive around. And off the net. And John, how many times have you heard me say this, but let serve should be illegal?
They should be, and that just speaks to it right there. What a serve back there from Moore.
If I had a girl that could serve really, really well, I'd try to tell her to aim at the tape every time. Because if you can get it to roll over nice. Oh, I thought it was going over. It came outside the net. I thought that was staying back in. So a run here for the Crimson, and it's Macy Moore again, number 1, having some success at the service line. That's a low left side serve, an overpass. Moore comes to get it. It'll be a bump set, right side, attack deep. They're out of system. So Lyles had to go get that one. There's a nice attack by Elby, though. Now it's going to come left side, and the hit was by Nora Mackey. Now back to Elby again, left side. To the net, tipped across. Bump set by the libero for the Bombers, tipped across again by Elby, where they are wearing Elby out on the far side there. Now Lyle's going to go right back to Elby again. And again, it's dug in the back row this time by Wardle. Now the attack by Mackey, and it's dug again. Near side, they're going to go right this time, and it came outside the pole on the attack by the Bombers' Claire Thompson. A good rally there, John, but the Bombers just could not take advantage of a few opportunities by Josie Elby.
Yeah, they kept loading up Elby there on the far side. Eventually brought it back to the near side here, and unfortunately just hit it outside the out stick. But yeah, that was a heck of a volleyball. The best one we've seen tonight, but it's still Jacksonville point, and they have a 4-point advantage.
Oh, to the net, tipped, and it's going to fall. They called a double hit and a side out. I thought that was tipped by the Bombers, but the officials saw it differently. 12-9, and into serve for the Bombers. Going to be number 15, Autumn Starbuck, the sophomore. Short serve, it dropped in a hurry. They were able to dig it up and send it across, but out of bounds. A side out, or a point for the Bombers, excuse me. It's 12-10.
The Bombers have done a much better job here in the middle of set number 2, keeping it close, unlike set number 1 where they let the Crimson go on a big run. They were able to keep it back on their side. We see a big kill there on the outside, but Bombers definitely playing this set a lot closer than the first one to this point.
Nora Mackey on serve receive from the right side. She's a left side hitter, the outside hitter, but she comes from the right on serve receive and drives it home to get the side out. It's 13-10. And a service error. 13-11. No timeouts called in this second set. There was 2 of them called by the Bombers in set number 1. There's an ace off the hand of the libero, Taylor Baldy, for the Bombers, and the Bombers are back within 1 at 13-12. Playing here at the high school instead of the Washington Street Gym because of the heat today, and I, for one, am darn thankful there. Oh, what a placement and a kill for the Crimson. Number 26, Maddie Evans, the middle hitter, a freshman, finding perfect placement on that one, John. Not hard, just placed it where she wanted it to.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the goal of volleyball, just hit it where they're not, and Macomb was definitely not right there.
And a service error for Olivia Woods, and the Bombers back within 1 after the side out. Checking in for the Bombers to serve is Wakala, and also back in number 17, Natasha Lynn. She'll go in and play right side. She, of course, lines up on the left, and she'll come to the right. Just set left side, and the attack and a kill. That is, once again, Jera Wardle on the attack and the kill, and a side out for the Crimson, 15-13. Now this is kind of what we saw right in the freshman game, or the C game, is really back and forth, very close through this middle stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. That freshman game, both sets were decided within 4 or 5 points or so. That first set, definitely you can tell, Jacksonville was able to get a lot of momentum towards the middle of that set number 1, was able to have a big lead because of it, but this one being played a lot closer.
That was a big-time block by Claire Darr. And I believe also maybe getting a hand on it was Jera Wardle. And I thought it might have landed out. There's a passing error. And it's 17-13 and a timeout coming. I called it a little too early there. There comes the timeout. Bombers trail by 4, down 1-0. The Jacksonville Crimson having their way here in JV action at the hangar at Macomb High School. This game being brought to you in part tonight by Ron Elby Auto Sales. With locations in Macomb and Augusta, and with 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car. In Macomb, on East Jackson Street, stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsalescars.com to check out their inventory. And Sports Corner at 124, Macomb's original local sports bar. Sports Corner at 124, with a focus on local sports. Catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124. All while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. Had our what is now becoming our yearly employee meeting at Sports Corner a week or two ago. You'll hear some different voices on TSSR Game Time Live from time to time this year, using a bunch of people we met during our year promoting, or I should say broadcasting WIU games as a side out on the hitting air. Gives the ball back to the Bombers after the timeout. Caden Strins is going to be serving or calling the West Prairie game tomorrow night, and there's an ace for the Bombers. Reagan Knowles back there serving for the Bombers. She gets the ace. And Aaron Christian's going to be on the camera with John at the West Central Galva game tomorrow night. I believe I'm going to be on the call with Tony Weston at the Bomber game, and that's out of bounds, no touch, a hitting error, and the Bombers are right back in it at 17-6 after the timeout here in JV action.
Well, there you go. That's exactly what you need to do. Just keep it close throughout the remainder of the set, and when you come down to the stretch here, you never know what can happen. Bombers starting to go on a little bit of a run. We'll see if they can continue to do so.
They'll have to win 2 sets in a row. They're down 1-0, as you can see on the scoreboard. There's a passing error. It was tipped, though, and that helped the Bombers. If they would have just not tipped that, I don't think it would have got over. But there's an attack by Macy Moore and a kill. And it's 18-16. Sports Corner kills again by Sports Corner for the Bombers. I don't know that we've seen more than maybe one kill tonight for the Bombers anyway. They have not had a lot of success hitting the ball at the sophomore level. I'm guessing you're going to see that change when we get to the varsity game, but you never know. There's an ace for Jera Wardle, and it's back to a 3-point game, 19-16. Jacksonville with the lead here in set number 2 of the JV contest. Jacksonville up 1-0. If you're just joining us, once again, live chat's open. Hop in there, tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. Elby tried to make something happen with a not good pass that resulted in a not good set, and she hit it into the net, and it's 20-16. Wardle back to serve again. Elby with the dig, tipped across by Quakala. And there's a block at the net for the Bombers by Kendall Field and Natasha Lynn, and the Bombers get the much needed side out, trailing by 3. Coming in to serve for the Bombers is Miley Lovell, a freshman. And trouble on the serve receive, but they're going to get a free ball across. And that's about as good of a free ball attack as you're going to see right there off the arms of, is that, trying to see the number, was that number 25 again? It was. I believe that's Chloe Kuhn, a junior. It is JV, so juniors can play if they want them to. And an overpass, and at the net, a kill for number 26, Maddie Evans. And Jacksonville up by 5 at 22-17. Deep serve. Baldy was there. It's going to be bumped across on a free ball by Elby, and a little miscommunication for Jacksonville, and it's a side out to the Bombers. Coming in to serve for the Bombers going to be Brooklyn Lyles. She had a good run at the service line a little bit ago. Also in number 6, Claire Thompson, a freshman. Claire Thompson will come to the right. Elby will slide back over to the left side. And serving from the left side is Lyles. And, oh, at the net for the Bombers. It's Reva Copen, the freshman. And that was a big-time block, John.
Yeah, nice block up there. And you got Lyles back at the line. She served a few in a row earlier on in this set for the Bombers. Hopefully that doesn't jinx her here. And there it is.
Hey, I didn't say it. I just want to point out it was not me.
I had to even it out a little bit, even out the blame, you know. Knew I shouldn't have said that. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, I know exactly where this is going.
It's early in the year. Got to get them out of the way. And off the hand of Macy Moore is an ace, and it's set and match point for the Crimson. Up by 5 in set number 2, leading 1-1 of the JV contest. Here's the serve, deep right corner. Lyles sets middle. Copen is going to hit it deep left corner and in. The Bombers survive set point number 1, or match point number 1, to cut it to 4 at 24-20. Coming in to serve for the Bombers is going to be Autumn Starbuck, a sophomore. They had to serve 10 in a row last time to get back into it. They only need 4 here. Not an undoable task. We'll see what Starbuck and the Bombers can do here to get back into this one. Set number 2, match point number 2. It's Doug. Nice set near side. And a nice dig by Lyles. They're out of system. Knowles gets the attack, and she's going to get the kill. Reagan Knowles gets the kill. The Bombers are 3 points away to send in it to extras. But perhaps the biggest part of that, John, was their ability to play out of system.
Yeah, absolutely. Knowles picking up the kill, as you mentioned, out of system there. Bump set to the net. Knowles able to put it in the perfect spot back there. Great attack by Knowles there on the far side.
Here's Starbuck's deep serve. Somebody yelled out. It would not have been out. Good thing she took it. Baldy, Lyles outside again. Knowles, and she got bailed out. I think that was going long. And reaching out to stick a hand at it was Olivia Woods, the libero, and the Bombers are within 2. That one would have been very close to being out of bounds. Starbuck again. This time Woods. Quick set and a bad set. I think there's a miscommunication from the middle as Macy Moore set a quick to Maddie Evans, and she was not there. It's 24-23. Back to serve again is Starbuck. Moore, right side this time. It's Doug out of system. They're going to be a free ball, but they should be able to get it across, and they do. To the net, tipped across, down to get it. The Bombers have a chance here. Knowles is going to send another free ball across. Now that's a bad pass. It's probably going to result in a free ball. It's going to be Moore sending it across. Lyles, right side attack, and out of bounds. Barely out of bounds. And the Crimson get a 25-23 win in set number 2. And the Bombers, we said they played better at the end of set 1, and they played better in set 2 and got better towards the end, just giving up that big, those points in the middle that allowed the Crimson to get out and enough to hold on.
Yeah, absolutely. Great resilience there shown by the Bombers side, and they were this close from sentencing into some extra volleyball action. Again, that last hit, I mean, that was out by a matter of inches, it looked like from up here.
Yeah, it was very close. In fact, I thought that maybe that was touched at the net, but they did not call it, so I'm sure it wasn't. It just kind of looked like it was to me. But at any rate, set number 2 goes to the Crimson, 25-23. That means a 2-0 win in JV action for Jacksonville. The varsity game will be up in just a little bit. Don't forget, we do a separate stream for that. So we'll take a break, and we'll be back in just a little bit with the varsity match in the next stream. You've been watching TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. We'll see you again in just a while.